Up where they walk, up where they run, up where they stay all day. Welcome to day one of Mermay. This is where I'm going to be drawing mermaid pictures for some weird reason. I just want to check that everything looks good on the stream, so bear with me for a second. I'm just going to hit this title card. Yes, we are fine. By the look of it, looks of it. You know what? I did get started with some sketching. Shall I just? Yeah, hang on. It's funny because I um, got quite far into actually drawing because I just sort of got started and I couldn't stop. It was it's weird. I didn't realize that I was gonna be that motivated with this one. But anyway, that is like that's just a sketch to give myself something to work off, and I faded it down just so I can go over it nice and easily. This character is called Dusky, so she's sort of a shark mermaid. Um, I think because I don't know a lot about sharks and fish and marine life, but recently I came across. I was just looking, googling pictures of sharks, and I started reading about dusky sharks, and that is way too thick. Whose idea was it to do that? All right, I sorry. I just like the name. It seemed like an interesting. I because I thought I'd name this character Dusky, um, and it just sort of went on from there. Because since then I found out that these types of sharks, they're kind of roughly the size of a human. They actually, I think the scaling seems to work. There's something quite realistic about a dusky shark type mermaid. Um, but the other thing is, I've just found out they're very friendly animals. These types of sharks. I mean, I've heard that sharks can be very nice. They're like very pleasant creatures. Um, it, it it's funny that but yeah, I also found a really cute video. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like it's divers swimming with dusky sharks. I typed in dusky shark into YouTube and watched the first one that came out, and it's really cool. They just seem like puppies, really. Maybe that's why young sharks are called pups. Um, I don't know. I would guess that's something to do with it. They just sort of resemble very playful puppies, and yeah, it's a cute thing to watch. It's sort of settled on what type of character this is. Sort of a playful character. She likes making friends with. I've just drawn a random fish drawing. That's probably going to change. I'm thinking I might replace that with a sea turtle character. I think a lot of these mermaids are going to have little friends. Kind of Disney it up a bit. Um, I've given her a bit of a weird looking face. I've been trying to work on kind of, you know, a shark like quality to her mouth. So yeah, I've been thinking sort of like a sort of fangy So, something like that. I want it to look nice, but it's hard. She's a friendly shark, friendly shark mermaid hybrid. Um, it's gonna look a bit creepy, I think. I'm gonna do my best to improve on, because yeah, I'm still getting used to Sketchbook Express. Because if you saw my stream on Sunday, that's what I've been trying to do. I've been trying to learn how to do digital art with that, and it's not been going too badly. It's just I'm so used to Illustrator, because you could just get everything looking so. I mean, like the way I've done it now. This is what I like. The kind of effect that I like to get from Illustrator. But you know, it does always help if you have something rough to, like when you can see all the flaws and everything, it makes it easier to improve upon. But it's not just that. I suppose from watching Drawfee, I've really started to think that I'm not that great at using Illustrator, and it's something that I could be. Like, you know, I'm not that great at using programs like Photoshop or Sketchbook Express to do line work, but there's no reason why I can't improve on that, because I've just done it this way for so long, and this is kind of my way of doing it, but it's not going to be for much longer, because at some point I've actually stopped paying for the Adobe products, and they're letting me use them for a bit longer. But then at some point, I'm going to go back to doing it how I was before. And there's nothing wrong with that, really. I'm not that bothered, to be honest. I think I should be able to get by all right. And I mean, it's all just whether or not my financial situation is going to make it something like, it does look kind of weird. I want her to be sort of a. She's not exactly having fun. She's just looks a bit stoned, actually. Sorry. Not my intention. Not my intention at all. I think I'm going to do more live streams using Sketchbook Express, because as you don't have the ability to do all the things you could do here, I think it's just going to be worth tackling. I've had a lot of experience doing this kind of thing, but you know, I want to make things a bit harder, because it's good to challenge. I think Sketchbook Express is great for doing that first stage, just the sort of under sketch. Now, I don't actually know where her pupils are going to go, because I mean, she's sort of looking over here. That's the point that she's looking at, basically, because she's going to sort of be touching. Because I think the turtle's head is going to be about there. He's going to be stretching out his neck, and so she's sort of stroking the top of his head. So yeah, just more that sort of direction. Her eyes are going to be downward a bit, I think. Looks a bit weird. A bit of a weird face. Yeah, I'm just going to work my way down now. And you know what, I don't know if I'm going to spend an awful long time on these. They might end up being a bit rushed. So also, I don't know if I'm going to do all of these the same way, like have a rough sketch done for each one, because this time it just sort of happened. I was just sitting in front of my computer, and then all of a sudden I had the main idea right there in front of me, and that's very handy when I suppose, like, for live streams, you want to have a bit of certainty on what's going to happen. So I'm glad that I did that. I managed to do that this time round. Assuming I'm going to be doing one of these for every day. Probably not. I think some days I might do the whole all the planning, and as this is the first one, I want to try and do a decent job. There's a bit of a long neck. I think that shoulder has to come up a bit higher. Assuming that it comes down to about there, maybe. I think dusky sharks. Have I got the picture up? Here we are. Yeah. So that's what the back fin looks like. I mean, it's interesting because there's a photo up here, I think. Yeah. I kind of like how this one. Ooh, I didn't want to do that. Just zoom in a bit. Yeah, okay. So yeah, they have a couple of fins on like just below the belly, and then they've got one little fin poking out there, and then the one up there. And this one has quite a swishy tail. I quite like that kind of swishy. So maybe a bit more of a curve into that than what I did before. Because I'm not so good at just doing what I can see on the. I think it has to be quite big. Alright then. So that is a bit of an odd shape, the little thing that they have there. Yeah, I think that works. Should probably flip this over. What I found last year is that I have maybe one or two really good drawings in me, and then that seems to be it. There's no knowing how good or bad they're going to look. So now it looks a bit weird. That does tend to happen when you flip it over. You start to. I should do that more. It's I think that works. It works like that. And then the pair of fins, so those will poke out Um, sort of that, sort of like that, sort of like that. And as the tail's curved, don't actually know how that. It's quite a low point, because here it would be sort of an overlap, but that curve makes it a bit tricky. So maybe just see a little bit of the other one over there, maybe. I don't know. Let's zoom out. Sorry, I've moved it right over to there, and this is what it looks like. Yeah, she has sort of twisted her body about a bit of a weird way. Well, it's not that weird. Still haven't got that right. I think I'm going to yeah, I'll leave it like that. Can't be here all day. Most of my streams aren't going to be this long. Do something with these eyes. Oh, it could be change that a little. Yeah. Something's just not working with that eyebrow. Okay. Again, can't be here all day. So, Mr. Turtle, I think his neck will sort of bend like that, so his body's right up there. Big smile. There's the rain there, yeah. Have I got that right? Always have to check. Like the number of times I've just got the hand completely wrong because I just was mistaking the left hand with the right hand and vice versa. Okay, I'm almost done now. I'm going to add the bubbles in Photoshop. Oh yeah, there's another thing I noticed. That little sort of chip mark. I like to. Oh, hang on. Yeah, got to add. I would like to add something like that to her tail. Well, I'm not going to miss this. I'm not going to miss waiting for Photoshop to do things. See, I do have an older version of Photoshop on my older laptop, which is a lot faster because it doesn't have so much stuff on it. Okay, here we go. I don't want it to be a smart object, let's make it regular. So now what this generic looking turtle is going to look like, just traditional turtle colours. So before I forget, I'm going to put in the bubbles. think I'll set it up so that they have a stroke outline like that. Now paintbrush. Let's make that one a little bit darker, and because it's in the sort of underside, a lighter colour for that one. Okay. Almost there. Yeah. Did all those. Okay, now let's give it a bit of a blue tint. So this is for the upload. And I'm just going to copy this over to the end screen. Like that. Okay, I was going to update this now. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this. How long did that take? Oh, 3/4 of an hour. Okay. So I'm going to be doing more of these, and so yeah, join me tomorrow maybe, and I'll be doing another drawing for Mermay 2018, and I'm going to be uploading these. I think. There's not really anything else to say. I think that's it. That's day one out of the way. Cool. Okay. Thanks very much for watching, everybody. I'll see you later.